You really never know as a woman. I'm not saying that men never get murdered by women that are upset with them, but it is majority men murdering women that they're upset with.
And it still is that then his solution is to kill her, I guess. I mean, like, and to kill the guy that she's with, right? Because that's, because he can't succeed at his mission. You know what I mean? So It's like guys will always ask, why do women give me their phone number? And then when I text them, they don't respond. And the answer usually is because she's afraid to not give you her phone number. You go up to a girl on the street and you're like, hey, what's your number? You're cute, whatever. She might not like you at all.
I think a guy, if he's pissed enough, he'll still murder you.
Well, yeah, but
if he's in the friend zone.
If you put him in the friend zone, right, you've pacified him, right? Because if he agrees to be friends and you're still going to talk to him, right, then he's still holding on that there's hope.
John sent me a text message the other day from a guy in your coaching or like your, what is it? Like your community?
Yeah.
And it was a guy talking about how one of his female clients got murdered. Yeah. And John just replies, oh my God, that's so horrible. Was it a angry ex? And he said, yes. The guy came in and killed her while she was sleeping and killed her new boyfriend.
Yeah.
And when he sent me that, and the fact that John even knew that that's what it was, I was like, I kind of want to do a whole episode on the reality of women being afraid of men. And it's not just when you're dating and you don't know a guy and you have to be extra cautious. I've already talked about that.
Right.
It's when you've dated them and if you broke up with them and what they're going to do.
Right.
And you really never know as a woman. I'm not saying that men never get murdered by women that are upset with them, but it is majority men murdering women that they're upset with. And it really does make dating and relationships difficult for women. Like, it's different if you're with somebody like you where I'm like, okay, John would never murder me. But sometimes you don't fully know and you're putting yourself out there, or you have to be afraid of how to communicate with a man because you don't know what he's capable of. Like even our daughter, when we went on the cruise, she was like, I don't know what to say to this guy because what if he gets really upset with me? And she didn't think he was going to murder her, but
he could throw her off the cruise ship.
She's already isn't that what she said? I think that's what she said. But she's already at 13.
I mean, that is still a real possibility at 13, right? Like that. Actually, we're joking about it. But kids have been fallen off or been thrown off of cruise ships. And like, I know it seems really extreme, but you don't know. This is just some random kid. He's 13. He's bigger than her. He could throw off a cruise ship.
But men don't live their life worrying about this.
Right. Yeah.
Like they might somewhat. They may be like, oh, she's so crazy. She's going to, hurt me or something. But
slash the tires. That's the
right. It's normally women aren't typically murdering, but like I said, some do. But women genuinely... It never goes away because it's either the beginning.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you don't get murdered.
Right.
While you're in the relationship, if he maybe becomes abusive or something.
Yeah. No, that's
when
true.
you break up, you have to worry.
And then, exactly. Yeah. And who knows how long after you break up.
Right. You don't even know. There might be some ex-boyfriend that I have that wants to murder me right now.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, he probably would have done it by now. But I'm just saying that I don't think men fully realize what dating and being in a relationship is like for a woman.
Yeah.
In this instance, like there was even some guy here in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
Who
the TikTok guy
the TikTok guy.
Oh yeah, he did.
Walked into his
exes.
Their apartment together. Yeah. They have a kid.
Yeah.
And he shot both her and the guy that was there.
Yeah.
After they had already broken up.
Yeah. Why do you think men do that?
I think because they don't want her to be with anybody else. I think it's typically men who got heartbroken and wanted to still be with that person, even if they mistreated that person. They don't want her to be with anybody else. And they are willing to throw their life away, probably because they're like, well, she's the love of my life. If she doesn't want to be with me, she'll be with nobody. And then he's like, I have nothing to live for anyway if I murder this woman. so I'll just go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I think that it's like it's a twisted version of what we were talking about in the last episode of like a man just like his whole, when he is married, when he's in a like committed relationship with a woman, his whole identity and purpose and value comes from making that woman happy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what, and so when a man feels like he can no longer do that and he hasn't shifted his purpose and it still is that, then his solution is to kill her, I guess. I mean, like, and to kill the guy that she's with, right? Because that's, because he can't succeed at his mission. You know what I mean? So it's like.
But there's also another layer.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to talk about that guy that like killed his whole family so he could be with his mistress. I forget what his name was. That bald guy who they found the kids.
Bald guy? Are you talking about Peterson?
Bald.
Are you talking about Peterson?
He was bald, I believe, and he killed his pregnant wife and his 2 kids. They found, I think, the kids' bodies. This is
a more recent one. Yeah,
in some like silo thing with the liquid.
Yeah.
Could kill his entire family just to live another life.
Yeah, I think that's a different motive in that case, because that's not really like the.
But is it the motive to love some other woman and to not be in trouble? I'm saying that this is like another layer to it. This is a different layer.
A lot of guys don't. Well, I mean, the layer, the joining
is murder.
No, it's not murder. That's
they're murderers.
Blue's Clues. Like, what do these stories have in common? Murder. That's it. Yes,
right.
Correct.
I mean, it is true.
But the underlying thing is lack of emotional control that men display. And that's why that's such a unattractive trait in men. If you see a man that has a lack of emotional control, women are hardwired to not be attracted to that guy.
But now they're good at hiding it. Mm-hmm. And they're just actually a lot of times the like really quiet ones.
Yeah.
How many times has a guy murdered anybody?
Yeah.
And it's always been the quiet ones.
Oh, that's why women value honesty so much. Right?
Tell me you're going to murder me or not.
No, well, yeah. I mean, well, okay. Which is more dangerous? The guy that he's pissed off, but he's being polite and pretending like he's not pissed off?
Right.
Or the guy that says, I'm pissed off?
Right. The guy that's trying to hide it.
Right.
Is more dangerous.
No, hold on. Which one did you say?
I think the guy that's trying to hide it's more dangerous.
The guy who's trying to hide it. I thought you said that was not trying to hide it.
No.
Yeah, the guy that's trying to hide it, right? So now, obviously,
I mean, they're both red flags.
Right. It's both red flags. I mean, depending on the situation, right? It shouldn't be everyone gets angry, unfortunately. Right. But
oh, do they?
Well, except for me. Not me. Hardly ever. I've been angry once. No. I don't get angry very often because I've learned to.
Right, but what you're saying is the honesty is you at least know he's telling the truth. He's not harboring anything typically that the other person would be shoving down and then later taking out.
Exactly, yeah.
On a more extreme level.
Genuine. But it is a crazy, but you're right though. I mean, that women do have to be careful. Well, it's funny because I did a video too where I was talking about how, like, why do guys will always ask, why do women give me their phone number and then when I text them, they don't respond? And the answer usually is because she's afraid to not give you her phone number. You go up to a girl on the street and you're like, hey, what's your number? You're cute, whatever. She might not like you at all, but she gives you the phone number and she gives you a real phone number because some women have given guys fake numbers and the guy types it in and texts them right there and then gets pissed off because he's like, why'd you give me a fake number? What is this? Right? And so a lot of times women are giving a guy a number and not responding because they just don't want to have a confrontation. You don't know what he's going to do.
Right. Exactly. You know why?
Yeah.
Because you're in person with him face to face.
Right.
If he wants to do something, he's right there.
Right.
At least if you give him your number and you ignore him later, you don't have to see him ever again.
Right. And guys get upset too when they say, "Oh, women are leading them on." They're like, I mean, this is why women put guys in the friend zone. I think is because they're safe in the friend zone, right?
From being murdered.
Yeah, think about it. Like, look, it's weird that women put guys in the friend zone, but they do it all the time, right? So the most common thing that a woman will say to a guy that she doesn't like is, I'm not really interested in you like that right now, or I'm not really interested in you like that, or you're not exactly my type, but let's just be friends. Or maybe
I don't
we
think
can
the
be
friend
friends.
zone protects you from being murdered. I think a guy, if he's pissed enough, he'll still murder you.
Well, yeah, but
if he's in the friend zone.
if you put him in the friend zone, right, you've pacified him, right? Because if he agrees to be friends and you're still going to talk to him, right, then he's still holding on that there's hope. Now, again, I agree that there's still danger later down the road, but there's not immediate danger. Because if you flat out reject a guy and like, I don't like you, I'm not interested, he might get pissed off, right? But if he's in the friend zone is safe. They're friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's
see what
safer,
I'm saying?
like you said, but
Yeah.
I think that it could still result in murder.
It could still result in true crimes. Look, but it's less likely. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's a way of rejecting a guy without rejecting him.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, you're still great. You're still a great person. You're wonderful. What do women say all the time? Oh, you're such a nice guy. I'm sure some woman is gonna just gonna love you so much, or you're gonna make such a great boyfriend for it's just not me, but we
Just
could be
don't
friends.
murder me,
Right. But
okay?
we'll be friends, right? Because women say it like that in order to
be
tampen
protected
down the
from
aggression,
murder.
right? So that
Right.
it's not an outright rejection where he's likely to, it's harder to react negatively to that, right?
Right.
Because if you say to, let's just, you're a great guy. I think we would be great friends. It's hard to say, fuck you, bitch. Like, it's like, I'm gonna kill you. Because she's saying you're a great guy. Let's just be friends. But if she says, oh yeah, I'm not interested, then
Which
you can be
that's
like,
still not even bad, but you're right.
Yeah, I
they
know, I'm just
still
saying, like,
like
then
view
you get
that as bad.
the reaction. So.
Better than